Please.
John Helge,
Here.
Jerry Haw,
Yes.
Vidar Liram,
Yes.
Sarah Stevenson,
Here.
Steve Kostecki,
Here.
David Blair, and Nick Lucina, absent. Roll call complete.
Hopefully they'll be here. You have in front of you the proposed agenda for today's meeting. Are there any changes to the agenda? If not, need a motion for approval of the agenda.
I will make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Thank you, Jerry. Is there a second?
I will say, okay.
Okay, Steve, we'll get you as a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of approving the agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Now it's time for citizen or public comment. It doesn't look like we have anybody in the room, so we'll move on from that. Next item is the approval of our minutes from our July 13 meeting. Those were distributed to you. I got the email today. But Katie, they look good to me. Are there any changes or additions to the minutes as presented in front of you right now? Hearing nothing, I need a motion to approve the minutes from the July 13 meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the July 13th meeting.
Thank you, Sarah. A second, please.
I will second
Thank you, Jerry. Any discussion?
it. Yeah, I want to make one comment to
Okay.
Tyler. Tyler, I don't know if we mentioned it to you, but when you were presenting all your facts and figures on what was going on with trees and so on, you put some time into it. I was impressed and didn't say anything at the time. Now I'm going to say something. Thank you.
All righty. I'd just like to go on record too as thanking Jerry Hall for stepping up and chairing the meeting in my absence. Thank you very much, Jerry. Okay, all in favor of approval of the minutes, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, it passes. I didn't have any unfinished business on the agenda. Does anybody want to add anything at this time? We'll just move on. I'm going to take the four items in order, and Vitor has something that he wants to add here under new business also. We'll do that as the fifth point on there. Tyler, you want to bring us up to speed on where we are with the grant, the DNR grant?
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to add from last month, but we had received the second revision of the plan last month, but I hadn't had a chance to review it. I've gone through and noted all of my revisions. There were just a couple things that I wanted to share with you about the revisions. So the first one was the discussion about their short-term goals of planting 100 trees and then 75 trees every year after that. Felt like that was a little lofty, so I asked them to scale it back to 50. So they responded to that, and I just wanted to share the comment with you. I think it's fine, but essentially their goal with this plan was to have a net positive impact in the 10-year cycle. If you were to follow the plan to the T, with only planting 50 trees and removing all of the trees that they recommend being removed, you have a net loss in trees over the 10-year cycle. So that is the reason that they went with 75 trees per year planting, so that you had a net gain at the end of the 10-year cycle. So I just wanted to point that out to you, that was kind of the math that they laid out.
Okay.
If you go with a 50 tree per year goal, which is still lofty. So I think it's fine. Obviously, at the end of this 10-year cycle, you could renew your plan or do what you want with it and essentially keep building on that. You're not going to achieve everything you want in 10 years.
But I think, if I could just comment on that, I think that's very good for us to understand that, especially when we bring this management plan to the public. Part of the public relations aspect that I envision here is we need to tell them that, hey, this is where we are today, this is, in 10 years, we're gonna lose this many trees, we're only gonna replace that many trees. I think that's something the public needs to know, and I think that'll help them step up and go with our plant a tree program even more than in the past, but I think we let them know that we're gonna be, you know, in a deficit at the end of 10 years if we go forward with this plan.
And part of that deficit too is lofty goals for removal. So the exact math, we had 4,133 trees inventory. There were 364 recommended for removal. So if you take 40 removals per year plus the recommended 550 trees planted over 10 years, that equates to 3,919. So the net loss went from 4,133 to 3,919 in year 2036, if you were to follow it exactly. But 40 removals per year is a lot to do as well. So I think if you stretch everything out, you can kind of adjust those.
But again, I think part of the issue is we're losing mature canopies,
Yeah,
replacing them with young trees. And I think the public, we need to make the public aware of that, because, you know, that's life in the, you know, in the urban forestry area. You're gonna lose more trees that are, because they're maturing out.
Yep.
And we need to be planting more trees. And the trees we plant today are not gonna have the canopy, you know, for us, maybe our grandchildren, but,
yeah.
you know, that's the way it's gotta be. So I think that's important, just an important point that we should be stressing in our public relations as we go forward.
So that I understand, what you're saying is that estimating how many trees we need to cut down every year, is that right?
Yeah, they have the original 364, and then they're anticipating more that 40 a year that would have to be removed, which I think
How many per year are they estimating?
40 for removals.
40?
Yep.
That's probably on pace with what we
Yeah.
take down every year,
Well,
40 to 50.
in my opinion, I can't vote for a plan where we know that we are reducing the number of trees in the city. So I would say we need to keep that 75 number instead of 50.
It's ultimately up to you guys what you want in the plan.
So I look at it as a goal,
Yeah.
right? The goal is to replace more trees than we're losing. And I think this commission's been doing that for the past 5-6 years. We were probably planting 15 and removing over 40 a year. You've reversed that trend quite a bit. I think we still have some work to go. And then I also think when we discuss this, we need to recognize that 50 trees at $400 a piece is $20,000. 75 trees obviously is 50% more. That's $30,000. The money that we plant the trees with is the same money that competes with sidewalk improvements and street improvements. And obviously, we hear a lot about how our streets are in bad condition and we gotta fix the sidewalks. So we also need to be just aware of that. And if we wanna try to keep sliding, you know, funding that way, then that needs to be a community priority too. And educating the community, they need to understand that.
Yeah.
I think if you increase the cost to the residents, at some point you're gonna get to a tipping point where you discourage them from planting. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
If we ask them to pay for half, you may get less participation, so we've gotta kind of find that sweet spot.
Okay, so I think that's what you're saying, that we could keep that number 75 as a goal.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we have been successful in getting some small grants now for 2 years, I think, or 3. And I just looked at an email we got a couple of days ago from DNR, about a DTE energy grant. So I'm thinking that if we have a goal, whether it's lofty or not, but say we have a goal of 75 new trees per year, some of those come from citizens who pay for part of it. Some of them has to maybe come from your budget 100%, but we should keep
Going after grants.
submitting grants,
Yeah.
grant
Absolutely.
So,
every year.
yeah, ultimately, I mean, you're correct. Ultimately, this is an asset management plan. So we have plans like this on the street system, on the water pipes, on the sewer pipes. We will never achieve all of the replacement and upgrades that we need, but it's a way to try to achieve as much as you can. And just like Vidar suggested, we've been working hard to leverage all the dollars that we have. I think we need to keep doing that. We need to look for opportunities. We need to, maybe part of that is working with the planning commission, and when new projects are happening, maybe we require boulevard trees to be planted, with those projects. I mean, there's different opportunities to leverage these things. Partnering with the Armory Youth and the Conservation District to have the kids plant a tree, it's one tree,
Yeah.
but it's another tree,
Yeah.
right? So,
I suggest we just keep it at 75.
Okay.
I understand it as a goal, and again, it goes back to the public relations, communicating with the public about, we've got a plan,
mhm.
and we need everybody to get on board and get engaged with it. So here's how you can get engaged. I mean, that's really what our,
Yeah, and here's how you can help.
I'm on board with the 75.
yeah, okay, if we could,
Okay.
thank you.
Yep, I'll keep that at 75. The only other comment, and you just kind of hit it, so they had included a conservative estimate for cost of tree planting of $400. To me, that didn't seem super conservative as prices go up, and so I was curious to know, because you guys have actually used a contractor that sourced and, did all the planting. What was your dollar value per
I-
tree?
I think they're right around 400, just maybe a little bit. They're probably 380 to 420.
Okay.
So the number I just used was 400, but they seem to be going up quite a bit each year.
Okay, so I'll maybe bump that number up.
Yeah, I think you
a
could
little
bump it in year one. I'd bump it to 425 or something, and then maybe there's an escalator for inflation or something, 5% a year.
bit. So that's all I have for comments on the plan. I think everything else, I went through and they had made some recommended tree planting lists, and I went through and axed a lot of the tree species that they recommended because they were non-native to Michigan or even the country. So I've made all those revisions. There's some minute details with logos and everything, but what I'll do is I'll send this off with these two corrections as well. And hopefully have a plan for you guys to formally accept once all those changes are made, and I think we won't need another revision. And then the only other activity that has happened is the level 2 risk assessments took place, so that will get added into the inventory so we can see those, and that will help us. We're still in development of the RFPs for pruning and removals, so now that we have those numbers, we can kind of work that in. So that's all I have as far as the plan. I did have a question for you, Jeff. Catherine wanted me to ask, so for the Armory Youth Project, they are planning to do a tree planting with the library. Maybe it's the library and not Armory Youth, but the library is going to do a tree planting on the street behind, or one block over. And she was curious about the possibility of DPW digging the hole ahead of time.
It's within the right of way?
Yeah, it's between the sidewalk and the road.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to ask, and then she'll just show up and have the kids plant in that
Yep.
location.
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay, and I'll get you the actual, there were 2 plantable spots inventoried there, and we selected the northmost one, so.
Okay.
I'll send you that stuff, and I'll get you, I tried to get the date from her. Oh, she's got September 24th in the morning is what she's planning for the tree planting,
Okay.
so.
Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. We also did have an issue, there was a web experience created in our GIS, and I forwarded that link
Yes.
to John, and he forwarded it to the rest of the commission. That allows you to, kind of a read-only, but it allows you to see the tree inventory and the specific trees and all the information that's been collected. When we did that, it locked out their ability to edit it, so I think they've got that fixed now.
I think so. I haven't heard any more since the emails, but
And then our consultant that does our GIS coordination said that they could create a public-facing page.
yeah.
So there may be a different link that's coming your way, but right now you should just use it, and I hope it's been valuable for you.
So I think that's great because, you know, I have that on my list here, is that link. If we could just send it out one more time for everybody so we could make sure we save that. I find it very, very useful when we get a trim and removal request.
Yeah, I think we still have some quirks to figure out, because essentially what Great Lakes' idea was with the public-facing portal is they would be able to see like basic information on the trees, but it would not give them everything, because they felt like it wasn't appropriate for the public to see like the risk assessments and all of those things.
I'm not, I don't think that that's a priority.
Yeah.
I'd like the people that are sitting here
Right.
in this room right now to have that kind of access to everything. To
Yeah, I think
risk
the-
assessments and everything.
The information that's there is most beneficial to you using it, and provides you a lot of good background. So if we create a public facing page, basically we make that data available to the public. They would just filter out and have kind of some of the basic stuff. But my concern right now is this is the group that needs access to
I
it.
had a situation last month. A person wanted a tree removed, and the tree is healthy. Okay? It's old, it's mature, but it's healthy. And it needs to be pruned, needs to be trimmed, no question. That's what I turned in, you know, I said, don't remove this tree, let's get these dead branches out.
Right.
But they just went apeshit on me. And I said, okay, you know, let me show you something. I have my laptop there, and I just opened it up and I went to that tree. I said, this is professional arborists are saying this tree is healthy. It's not gonna come down in the next next normal storm. I said, any storm could take a tree down. I said,
Sure.
I lost 3 trees, over the winter that were damn healthy trees, but they got uprooted. So,
John, that's the one on First Avenue, 261?
no,
Well,
no, that's a different one.
Oh, that's a different one.
That was
Okay.
a different one.
Well, respectfully, the public often has different priorities or reasons for wanting a tree removed, and that doesn't necessarily follow the guidelines of what the tree commission has. So if you've got expert data and an assessment to back you up, then it's just not
That helps.
your personal opinion of
That's
it, right?
Yeah. Because it was, who are you to tell me, that tree is healthy, I said, well, don't take my word for it right here. If you got a minute, let me open up my laptop
Sure.
and show you. So I think that's helpful. If we have the GIS capability, that's even better, because we can show them a picture of their, right down to it.
Yeah, my only point was that I may have given it to you
I
little bit prematurely because I was excited, caused some issues on the back end. I think we've got those repaired. But
Yeah.
Katie will send the link back out to you.
and just so you guys are aware, our contract with Great Lakes Urban Forestry, I included in there, service for 1 year post-contract close. So essentially, when everything is wrapped up, they've agreed to, you know, be able to answer questions or fix things that need to be fixed within 1 year effect, so.
Beautiful.
Um,
Any other question for Tyler, guys? Hearing nothing. Tyler, thank you so much for everything. How's the baby doing?
he's
Sleeping
doing
through the
good.
night yet?
What's that?
Sleeping through the night?
No. We haven't started feeding him food yet, so I'm hoping that changes things, but he's starting to move around more. He's like spinning on his stomach, but he only goes to the right. He hasn't figured out how to go to the left yet, so.
There you go. All right. Item number 3 and 4, both have come from Madam Mayor through our city manager. This tree was removed on 121 McKee Street without permission. It wasn't done by the DPW.
Yeah, we confirmed that it was not removed as part of our approved removal list, nor was it removed as part of storm damage. So it's believed that a resident removed it.
So do we throw him in jail? What do we do?
Burn his house,
Huh?
burn that stump there.
Yeah.
The stump is still there, though.
There's still a
4 foot of.
stump of the tree that's left in the front yard. So I don't think we've addressed this as a commission before, so that's kind of why we're bringing it up tonight, is to determine or get a recommendation on how we handle these.
When you take a healthy tree down that belongs to the city,
But we don't know that for a fact, John. But it was healthy, we don't know if it was healthy or not.
Well, you can look up your link and
There you go.
find out.
How do you know who took it down? We don't, do we?
Well, who else would do it?
But it could have been anybody on that road. They could have had a problem with it. Well, they could have done it after hours at dark time too in the community. The guy, the owner of the house could have taken it down. But he got rid of all the limbs and everything else pretty good. He cleaned it up well, so it's been down for a while, I'd say.
yeah. So, I get, and this kind of goes along with the Franklin Street where trees are planted that aren't approved, on our approved list. So, you know, we've got a couple of things here, and we need to figure out what's the common sense thing to do.
You think we need to remind the public about right-of-way and their role in keeping their hands off of it, or otherwise, I mean,
I think that's a way I was thinking of proposing to go also. A reminder, especially for planting stuff in the right of way, and then also probably a stern reminder of some sort, or something like that happened over here where the tree was cut down. You know, you can't give them a fine, I don't think you got enough proof for that, and you probably wouldn't wanna do it, but, you know, something to point out that, hey, or is there an ordinance that says something like that? Is there a part of an ordinance where it can be pulled out and extracted and say, hey, this is city stuff, this is city business?
Well,
Point that out to us.
taking the one on Franklin Street, I mean, there's pine trees that are planted in the right of way. Those are not approved, and they're not approved species because of the safety issues that they contain. 2-3 years ago, we had the same situation on 8th Street between Concord and Fairview, I believe. And I believe the commission made contact with the property owner because those were removed. Do you recall that?
I don't recall.
But I believe those trees should be removed.
Yep.
And so maybe it's a letter of some sort from the commission and citing the ordinance that lists what the approved species are. And then, you know, suggest that those need to be removed and be brought into compliance, and then invite them to participate in our annual program, so that there's a little positive out on that. I think that's a better path, or a good path. The tree removal is no different than somebody going into a park and cutting down a tree. That's public property. And so we can send a letter, but there's not another tree in front of that house, you know? So I don't know how severe we do that, whether it's it could be as far as a police investigation. or it's another, could be another letter that reminds them that this is public property. But that one seems more,
I like the idea
More
of
harmful.
police investigation. I like that idea.
Well, Peter?
If it's not widely known.
Can we hold on a minute? We could get Peter's had his hand up for a while, and then I'll recognize you.
Yeah, well, first of all, this is something that someone has done on city property. You do something on someone else's property. So that is a severe thing to do, isn't it? I mean, similar to other things you could do to city property. You could take a truck and hit the light pole or, you know, whatever. So, yeah, so then how would we deal with that? Maybe one suggestion would be that someone either from the commission or from Jeff's office contact the property owner adjacent to that and try to establish, like, a simple question: do you know who cut this tree down?
well, it'd be appropriate for an officer to do that
Yeah.
type of investigation. I don't think it was done done long before it was reported. Because when I drove by that day, there was still debris in the roadway itself from when it was chipped up.
Picture of it is in your inventory too,
Of the tree?
from Google Maps, so it was there
Mhm.
on the street view came through. But to answer your questions about the health of it, it had no immediate risk.
Sorry?
It had no immediate risk.
I'm sure the neighbors know what happened, they just need
Well-
someone to ask them.
Yeah, David, you had a comment?
Yeah, the only thing I was thinking is just that it's not real widely known. I remember when I first learned of that process, it was only because I called DPW because I'm in the field and I asked and I talked to Brandon. Brandon's like, well, thank you for calling. Most people don't. So, I mean, I don't see how we can punish somebody if they don't know, if it's not posted somewhere or, I mean, I feel like maybe more education would be appropriate before we make an example of somebody.
Well, but you don't know that the city, that you cannot
I know,
violate
I know, but I
something
know
on-
that 75% of the city residents do not know.
do not know that you cannot violate city property?
I don't think they are aware that that's city property.
or not. I'm going with what David is saying, because a lot of times you won't know. I'll tell you a story about me when I first moved into town here, the house I have, I've been there for like 25 years now. There was a tree that was almost dead off front, and I was getting a private contractor to come over and cut it down and trim it up. He came over and looked at it and says, I'm not touching it. And I said, what do you mean you're not touching it? You don't want my money or whatever it is? He says, no, it's on city property, and you have to contact them to do that. And that's when I found out about the reports and all this stuff and filled it out. But see, I didn't know, that it's a no touchstone, but the contractor there knew that, they can get trouble by cutting down city, things on city property there.
Okay, so I agree that education might be necessary.
I think that's,
But if we went the hard way and reported it to the police, it was reported in the newspaper or somewhere, that is part of the education.
correct.
If someone doesn't know that you cannot violate city property, or they don't know that the parkway is city property. I'm not saying that you should go that hard way, but I think we need to do both. We need to figure out, if we can, figure out who cut the tree down.
And why?
Well,
Why?
would that be something appropriate for one of the light police officers to maybe?
No, this is a malicious destruction of property. It's not a blight issue.
Who gets in trouble?
Here's the way I'm looking at it. I agree with you. Public education needs to happen. This looks like a press release opportunity here
Exactly.
for us to bring this all together and point people towards Manistee, plant a tree, website page and all that. So I'm volunteering to write that up. I'll write a press release along those lines, and in the press release, I will mention, recently,
Yes.
some trees have been removed.
Yeah, make it an opportunity to educate.
Recently, some trees have been planted on city property.
Exactly.
And I'd like to put it as malicious destruction of
Yeah.
city property if you touch the.
Yeah.
and it's-
I do think that we should file a police report with our police department and have them visit that address in uniform and
See what happens.
just, they'll use common sense, you know, they're not gonna, but I think that should happen. I will write a letter as the chair to the Franklin Street property. How do I find out? Do we have access to who lives at 126 Franklin? Is that something that we can?
Yeah, mhm.
Okay.
I can send
So
that to you.
I will write that letter to them, asking them to remove those trees, those unapproved trees.
Mhm.
And is it okay if I say, if they're not removed, the city, the Department of Public Works will remove them and will charge you for their work? Is that something I can say?
I don't know. I wouldn't worry about the charge, but
Well, I want people,
Yeah.
you know, I want it to get done, and if that's holding over
Yeah.
my head,
Yep.
I mean, it's kind of like if you go and mow somebody's yard, you charge them for it, don't you, under the blight?
Under the noxious weed ordinance.
Yeah, whatever. Just,
Well, I mean, you can suggest that, that the Department of Public Works will, remove them and you'll be responsible for costs or something like that, yeah.
right. So I'm gonna give them 6 weeks to remove them. If they're not removed by September 1st, we'll take action. Does that sound okay to everybody?
Sounds good to me.
But I think what we'll do is, I'll go down and talk to Chief Glass and just see, follow his, say, hey, I'd like your officer to go and talk to these people who lives. Would that be all right?
Yeah, I think, or I'm happy to do it as well. But I would just say it was reported, came through the chain, we discussed it as a commission, and we would like it investigated. And at a minimum, if they determine who's responsible for it, they're certainly gonna know that this is serious.
One of the things that I might offer in this would be, okay, you did it, and what we'd like you to do is replace it.
That's a good idea, I was just thinking about.
With our system, it costs you, here's how you fix it.
$75, right?
That's a good idea.
Would that be,
Yes,
so I'll talk to Chief Glass about that, give them that option, and, see if that works.
yeah,
Okay?
I like that.
But no discount.
Pardon?
Well,
There's no discount.
Yeah.
well, and maybe, I mean, the full removal is gonna have to be done in the stump ground, and,
Right.
I mean, it's,
And the city, that's part of the, well,
cost recovery.
do you think we should ask them to pay for that?
I think if we're gonna snip those little pine trees down, that's
Okay.
way easier than grinding that stump out of there.
Okay, so, the stump grinding is how much? Couple hundred?
I don't think it'll be that much. We've got an annual contract, and it's based on the size of the tree.
But my understanding is that stump is up high too. It's not.
It is.
It's not cut down at the.
I have a picture of it if anybody hasn't seen it.
Just
I haven't
have
seen
to do another chainsaw cut out.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, it's up there.
Oh, jeez. What the hell?
Know where they're taking.
yeah.
Yeah, seriously, weird.
No idea why they wanted to use the tree. Okay.
And then, as long as I'm up here, those are pine trees. So those wouldn't take much to. And maybe to soften it, relocate.
Pardon me?
Relocate them to your backyard.
But it's,
Yeah.
or request to remove it, could be
Yeah, you can
relocated.
relocate those beautiful trees to your own property.
On the other side of the sidewalk.
At least they're,
The positive thing is that other city officials are taking
Yeah,
They do.
that's true.
They keep it an eye out.
Okay, so there'll be a press release done, a letter to 126 Franklin, and a police report made on the 121 McKee Street issue. Okay, everybody cool?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was just thinking maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea for one of us to call the local tree companies and just reiterate.
Oh, how about you doing that, boss?
Sure.
You know who they are.
I can do that. I mean, just to let, you know, I mean.
Yeah,
just-
that would be a great,
There's a chance that the people at 121 McKee did it themselves, went and got a lift from Grand Ronald, but it's more likely they hired somebody to do it.
well, that looks like somebody did it.
That's what I was thinking. So,
Yeah, David, if you would do that, I think that would be wonderful. Thank you. All right. Okay, Vitor, you've got some information on a new opportunity for us to go get some money?
Yes, I haven't done a total search, but I just came across, DTE Energy has $4,000 available possibly. And that application is due on September 14th, so it's coming up.
Yep.
And then the one we have applied for earlier is through the Michigan Forestry and Park Association with Consumers Energy.
Mm-hmm.
And that application is due November 6th. So we have a little bit, that's 15 trees, $200 each. So I was thinking that if you agree, if the commission agrees, we could pursue both of these. Maybe there are others too, but that, and I'd be happy to prepare it. But I would try to work with,
Tyler and the Conservation District?
yeah.
If Tyler and the Conservation District have, if they're willing.
No, just to find locations.
Oh, locations.
Locations
Oh, okay, yeah.
that fit with our plan, because now we have that plan is really a good argument for,
Amen to
Yeah,
that.
we wouldn't want to include the same planting locations in your area, that's what I'm gonna include for the contractors.
Okay.
So we wanna make sure we're
Collaborate.
planting in different areas.
yeah.
So collaborate together and find some new planting locations. That's great. Go for it.
we do have an ordinance that says that, it's 1026.11 says that when a violation causes the injury or death of a city right-of-way tree, the responsible party does bear the cost of repair or replacement.
Oh, we do have that?
That's in the ordinance?
Huh?
That's in the ordinance?
That's what it says, yeah.
There it is.
Yep, that.
Give me that ordinance
What was it?
number
Yeah, I
again.
was gonna ask the same thing, say that again.
1026.11, it's got that weird little squiggly sign, it kinda looks like a dollar sign, but it's a circle in the middle.
Yeah,
Whatever that means, it's legalese.
well, that's in the city ordinance, it'd be in the city books, so be able to,
But yeah, chapter 1026, under,
Yep.
trees.
I'll bring that up with the chief of police when I talk to him. Okay, well, Vitor, that sounds great. Anything we can do to, and any help you need, let us know. But, in my opinion, go full speed ahead, and don't be afraid to ask for help, though, if you need somebody to
Okay.
run something down.
Yep.
Okay? Anything else? Okay, I'm gonna start with Sarah. Sarah's got an announcement for us, and then we'll go down the road.
Oh, I am relocating to Montana. So this is probably my last tree commission meeting.
Do they have any trees in Montana? You better remember
Yes,
that, they're
they
probably
do.
not.
Some of them are on fire. No, actually, not right now they aren't. Yeah, I went to college there and, yeah, when I moved up here, I had a plan and a husband. But along the way, I had to get rid of the husband, and so now I have a new plan. And
New
it's
husband.
going back, no, not a new husband. Going back to live close to my friends, so I have my
Excellent.
support system around me.
Excellent.
Good.
Well, Sarah, I just want to say on behalf of the commission, thank you so much for the work you've done. You've been very helpful, and especially with some of the work you've done is with press releases and things like that. And we can count on you for those kind of help, and really appreciate it. And wish you all the best in your new endeavors.
Thank you. I really appreciate being part of the commission. I learned a lot, and I'm really excited about all the stuff going on and the grants. You guys are, I know, gonna continue to kick butt after I leave.
Do that. David, you got anything you'd like to announce or talk about?
I did finish that flyer thing. I went back to the houses that I couldn't get a hold of. There's still one house that looks like it's abandoned. The tree's pretty much dead there now. And 5 of the water bags are gone.
Yeah.
Don't know where they went.
Dogs,
They just took them and what? Buried them?
I don't know.
The thing is that we've had just enough rain, this summer so far.
The
And
rest of the trees.
those trees look pretty darn good
Just
on
one, I
Main
think.
Street. I was noticing today when I was delivering meals those 8th Street trees, we got a good deal
Well,
on those.
I noticed, this comment here, I noticed the ones on the upper part of the hill that was planted last fall,
Mhm.
or last winter, early winter. There was a much better batch than the ones we planted down below.
Yeah.
But there's quite a few of the ones down below that are still surviving.
Yeah.
I go by them occasionally,
Mm.
so that's good.
Okay. Anything else?
Looks like we could go after a $500 civil infraction also for those.
We'll see what the police chief says. All right?
Well, ordinance is local law.
Yeah, absolutely. Peter, anything else? Okay. How about you, Jerry?
No, I'm all set out.
Steve?
So one comment, my family are joggers, and my daughter-in-law is not from here, she's from Ludington. We were up jogging at the end of 2nd Street up there by Trinity Lutheran. She says, boy, there's some beautiful trees in this city. So, you gotta keep it up. It's beautiful up there, Trinity Lutheran area.
All right. Well, if there's nothing else, folks.
I have one
Oh,
item
yes,
for you.
absolutely. I'm sorry.
2 items for you. So at the last meeting, there was a question about the plaque that's on the stone down at the First Street Beach Bathhouse. I went down, looked at it, sent pictures of the area to Mr. Dula. He responded and said that that's a tough environment for a white pine, which was a species that was planted. He suggested a couple other species or some other options. When I looked closely at the plaque, that tree was planted in 2016. So even if we planted a new tree, it's not gonna match the date of which that plaque was. So I don't know if you would like us to, research or plant a different species there that would grow. I don't think it's gonna meet the intent of the plaque anyway, but it doesn't hurt to put a tree there if you thought it was okay, or thought it was appropriate. But we may wanna just remove that plaque,
Is it easier to retire the plaque?
probably.
Cheaper.
I would
The
recommend.
suggested trees too are really desirable. You're pretty limited in each sand.
That's a lot of sand.
Right.
Yeah.
You know better, it's your department.
We'll probably just remove the plaque then unless there's any objections.
Plaque up again?
When the DNR's trust fund, we invited them to Manistee for one of their quarterly meetings in 2016. And we wanted to show them some of the projects that the city constructed with grant money. And it was a very good experience, very good. But part of that was to have a ceremony down there and tell them that we appreciated their work and so forth. And so that tree was planted in honor of the DNR trust fund. Unfortunately, it was a harsh environment for that species of tree, and the tree didn't last very long and has since been removed.
But if we're removing the plaque, maybe we should let that foundation know that the tree's not there, and maybe they have an idea. Maybe they would pay for a replacement tree and a new plaque or something, I don't know. But if we take that plaque away, it's their plaque, right?
That's one of the,
Well, the plaque belongs to the city, but
yeah, the city put that there.
Oh,
and
okay.
paid for the tree to be planted.
Okay.
One of the things that we've discussed over the years is doing a memorial tree program, and this is the one thing that I've always been told stay away from, because you can do a plaque and the plaque lasts forever, but the trees can die. And then people get very emotional when their tree didn't make it and it was, put there as memoriam, and so kind of a reminder.
yep.
The second thing I had was,
Well, going back, my recommendation is removing the flag.
Yeah, I think we're in agreement.
okay. The second thing is, at the last meeting, you asked about the trees along US 31. So the plans for that project are being plotted. It'll be full-size sheets, but there's gonna be a lot of them. That's a very long, couple miles through the city. And when I discussed it with the engineers, they recommended they're gonna take off some of the clutter from it, but keeping the utility lines existing and proposed on there, so that if members of the commission are looking at planting a tree, they can see that there could be a utility conflict. So I'm just saying that's a lot of paperwork, it's a lot of area. I've driven it specifically looking for trees, and I don't believe there's any trees in the MDOT right-of-way today. But that doesn't mean there's not opportunity in the future, because the green space between the curb and the sidewalk is gonna expand quite a bit, so. As soon as I have those available, I'll have Katie email the commission and let you know that they're available, and we can set up a space for you to view them and work on them.
The plans, are they gonna bury all the utility?
No.
No, it's gonna be overhead? Okay.
But just as an example, the city's gonna lay new water main along the entire stretch, and we were trying to keep the water main outside of the roadway, so if we have to maintain it, there's less impact on traffic. At one point, we moved it between the sidewalk and the curb and gutter for that purpose, but it conflicts with where the gas mains are and some of the buried telephone lines. So we had to move it too, and so it's a very narrow corridor with a lot of things going on. So that's just a fair warning.
So do you advise not putting anything in there?
I'm not saying that, I'm just saying, when you see it, there's gonna be a lot of line work, and, when somebody wants to view them, I'm happy to try to help you kind of dissect and understand what you're looking at. But it's a long way, and a lot of stuff is buried.
But if I remember right, the intention was that the parkway would be planted with trees. Is that correct?
I don't believe that's correct. I think that was offered by the state as an option.
Okay, it's an option,
Mhm.
meaning
Meaning
we pay for it or they pay for it?
They have stated that they would pay for tree plantings if you found appropriate locations to put them.
Right, that was my intent,
Right.
my understanding. So I think we need to keep with that intention and then try to find places where
Yeah.
we could.
Yeah, I,
There are not going to be that many, but, it would be nice if the whole drive through the city had trees on it.
right.
Ideally.
I agree with you completely, and I would also keep in mind that the city will be responsible for those in the future, even if the state pays to have them planted. We need to make sure that whatever species that we select don't grow out into the travel lanes or over the sidewalk. We're gonna have to maintain and prune those. And then I'm not sure if there's trees that are susceptible to the salt, but there's a lot of salt that gets put down on the highway.
One of those.
So I think that needs to be a consideration as well. So hopefully I'll have those this week, and we'll email you to let you know they're available.
Could you also keep your eye out for any deadlines? I know this is a plan with projects like this, right? You suddenly get to a point where we come back and say, now we wanna start working on the plan for the trees. And someone says, oh, sorry, that's too late, right?
The plans need to be 90% complete by the end of this month, and final submittal will probably be at the end of October,
Including tree positions?
everything.
No, so we need to,
How do we do that?
well, as soon as we can,
That's 21 days.
you let us know when, as soon as you've got
Yep,
those drawings, and then, you know, send us an email and we'll show up.
Yep.
I mean,
Well, then for this project, are we sticking to the approved species or can
of
we?
course, the approved species, yes.
100% no decorative,
Pardon?
no decorative looking smaller trees?
I think we need to stick with the approved species and make sure that they don't interfere with overhead lines and all that good stuff, you know, and that's what we need to look at with the drawings.
And they're like, so,
When you say approved species, do you mean on your community?
Our approved species, our 6 approved species that are right now,
Because I would say, as a tree commission, you have liberty to explore other species, but you can still stick to species that are native. You know, it's, sourcing it will be the hard part. And, you know, in your plan, I don't really like their tree recommendations. They didn't give a lot of detail, so I had them add the DNR, city or urban tree list to the plan, and that outlines a lot of that information, whether it's a good parkway tree or park exclusive, whether it's tolerant of salt. And that list is exhaustive. It includes whether it's native to the US, native to Michigan. So you could pick your criteria that meets your goals and go through that list and find a lot more than what's on your approved list currently. Because the
I
other
think-
thing is you want diversity as well.
good point, Tyler. I think one of the things though, when they get to this final drawings, really all we need to do is have an X on the drawing saying tree here. Doesn't have to say a tree, you know, the species of tree. Yeah, I don't think. You,
I would think by the end of October, we would want that,
you would have to have, okay, but by the same token.
For them
we
to-
can do that, we can do that,
for them to bid it out, or they can create a tree allowance.
yeah.
I would suggest that we do a workshop. So not a formal meeting, but
Yeah,
a workshop with Jeff and who else do you want to bring in?
as soon as he's,
Sit around, get a big table.
yeah,
Put the printed drawings on there and find out whether we'll do it during one workshop.
let's just put it out and,
Because if we don't, we're gonna miss the deadline.
yeah. And
I have some experience with projects.
there'll be people that will be upset with us because we missed it. We should take advantage.
I can
Well,
see
and-
if Josh or I could attend that too, if you guys want.
I'm sorry?
Josh, I could see if Josh or I could attend your.
Oh, that would be
Yeah,
wonderful.
absolutely, that would
Gosh,
be great,
yeah.
that would be great.
We want to invite the Parks Commission too, right? Because we had already involved them on this before.
Yeah.
There were a few members that wanted to be a part of it.
They,
But respectfully, it feels like we're late in the process. We're actually at a point in the process where all the underground utilities are kind of fixed now, so we know where things are at. If we would have done this a month ago, then things would have been moving and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's late in the design process, but it's at the appropriate time.
Practical.
It's at the practical time, yeah.
mhm.
get the drawings, get it a long table, let us know and we'll get there. You know?
With a very long table.
It's a lot.
You know, and everybody on this commission, if you can make it, you can make it. If you're on vacation or gone somewhere, you know, that's fine, but we've got to trust that we'll make the right decisions, you know. Okay? Anything else?
That's it, thank you.
Thank you all very much. Our next meeting will be the second Monday of September. Okay, everybody cool with that? All right. Thank you, you're adjourned.